This is a video of me trying to prove that the Earth is a ball. I made a 3D model in Blender. I made the Earth, and I made it the dimensions that they say Earth is across, so 12,742 kilometers. This here is a 30,000 foot tower I've made, so that, you know, when I put the camera at the top of it, I can see what it would look like in a plane flying over at 30,000 feet, what it should look like out in the horizon. So you can see it's that's where the Earth ends right there, but over there I've made a flat plane that's just underneath the Earth, and that's what's going out further to where the horizon really is. But so what we should see in real life is the Earth curving away and down like that, but we don't see that in real life. And I was trying to prove that the Earth was a ball, and I was trying to prove, you know, flat Earth is wrong, and I have proved myself wrong, unfortunately. And the implications of that mean, you know, I was lied to as a child. I love space, and I loved everything about it. I have probably 8 space games, and I watched Futurama. I love The Big Bang Theory. I still do. It's a fun show. But you know, I did my own sort of research and tried to prove them wrong, and I proved myself wrong. And it's kind of humbling to think that, but at the same time really made me quite angry, knowing that I was lied to. We've all heard the term density and buoyancy as the replacement for gravity in the flat Earth model, and prior to me understanding it, it just sounded like garbage. You know, it didn't mean anything to me. But then, you know, I saw videos. There's a video of a guy who wanted to make his backpack for hiking lighter, so he filled the balloon with helium. And when you think about that, helium is on the periodic table, and it is a net positive weight. It's 2 neutrons, 2 protons, 2 electrons. So it's a net positive weight. It's just that it's buoyant in air. And simply the fact that he's added more weight to the system, the backpack, the chain holding the balloon itself, and all the molecules of helium, means the backpack actually has more weight than it started with, but it feels lighter while he's carrying it. And this is what's clicked for me now. And you know, the reason why things fall is simply because it's a denser collection of atoms. So just like with this, you know, why does hot air rise? It's because the air has become more excited. You know, it's now become less dense. There's more space between the molecules, and it's now less dense. It's also the reason why hot air balloons can lift the whole system, even though the whole system has a net positive weight. It floats in air because the surrounding air is more dense, so it floats like it's floating on water. That's how we float boats, you know. We make boats out of steel and heavy things, like all kinds of heavy and dense materials, but the bottom of the boat is mostly air, so it becomes less dense than the surrounding water. So that's essentially what I wanted to talk about. Clear up any misconceptions, because density and buoyancy doesn't make any sense when you hear it at first time, you know. But simply, you know, this object right here, it's more dense than the surrounding air, so obviously it's going to fall through it until it hits my leg, which it just did, because my leg is dense. You know, so is the ground. It's all a dense collection of atoms, and it can't phase through it. But it can phase through the air and the water, assuming it's not like this. This would probably float on water like that, but it would sink once it filled up with, dense water, and it would fall to the bottom. So there you go.
It turns out the orbits of a three-body problem are mathematically chaotic.
Yes, I was about to say, that did not seem very stable.
Something has to give.
Well, this is in the series. What we're talking about.
I haven't seen the series.
I know.
I'm just saying something has to give.
That's all.
Two of these are going to collide.
Right.
One is going to get ejected.
Right.
Okay. That is the classical three-body problem. Three objects of approximately similar mass trying to maintain a stable orbit. And it goes chaotic with just three objects.
Look at that.
It is an unsolvable.
See that? Unsolvable. No one has solved this in the history of time, and we currently, mainstream science currently thinks that there's, well over 1,000 bodies in this solar system. At least 200 large bodies like moons and planets, and then a lot of, debris and asteroids and things like that around the Kuiper Belt, things like that. And yet, mainstream science wants us to believe that we can't even solve three bodies, but somehow the universe has organized our solar system into a perfect synchronicity, harmony, of just nothing's going wrong with the gravity, nothing's colliding and going randomly. Like, it's not logical to think that we can't solve three bodies, but the universe, with all of its entropy, has managed to make everything so ordered, nice and perfectly. Okay, so I want you to think about that rationally. Don't regurgitate the things you think you've been taught. I want you to take an analytical look at it from a neutral standpoint and tell me what you come up with in your own head of why this can't be solved. Yet, here we are in a random universe,
So supposedly this is a video from NASA that they recorded Saturn coming from behind the moon, y'all. Now, y'all know how y'all be saying about all these videos and pictures and stuff like that. I want y'all to tell me, what do y'all think about this specific video? You feel me? And do not choose and pick sides this time, you feel me? Let's be real. Well, y'all know what I'm trying to say. I'm not even trying to give it up. For those who know, they know what I'm trying to say. Mind you, this is a NASA shot of Saturn coming from behind the moon. I rewinded it back one more time for y'all. Peep this shit, y'all. Look at that shit. How many of y'all believe?
Kind of weird when you look up satellites that they're all CGI and you can't find a single real photo of a satellite or the ball. I mean, if there's so many of them, shouldn't there be like live streams and cameras, and there should be hundreds of photos, like genuine actual photos that you can take with a camera, not computer generated images or Photoshop. Guess what? The truth is, satellites aren't real. They're on balloons. Watch this. It'll explain everything to you. How NASA flies giant helium balloons on satellites, and just watch it.
Flat Earth. Do we actually live on a flat Earth? Do you believe that the Earth is flat? I know a lot of you in my comments seem to believe that the Earth is in fact flat. So is it? Well, I've been trying to find images of the globe, but they all seem to be like CGI rendered images, everyone that I found. But I'm not 100% sure on that. If you look back at like ancient civilizations, so many of them seem to depict a flat Earth. But many would argue that they are primitive and lack knowledge. If they were so primitive, how did they build wonders like the pyramids that we would struggle to replicate today in such precision? It's an interesting one, isn't it? Also, why would they hide it? Wow. If the world was proved to be flat, then our whole history of space exploration just goes out the window, doesn't it? would all be proved not to be true. And we all know that the moon landings face a lot of scrutiny. We don't know if it's actually real, and a lot of it does look fake.
Stop what you're doing because I have something really crazy to show you guys. You're not going to want to miss this. So this is the Sirius star, seen from a powerful telescope. Now doesn't that look oddly familiar to something we've seen? Exactly. Siri. Hey Siri, is the Sirius star actually 5.88 trillion miles away from Earth? Or is it actually a lot closer and more local, and something a lot more special like you've been hinting the whole time? Oh, no answer? She must be hiding something. Just like how the moon waxes and wanes in a 28-day cycle 13 times out of the year. So we should actually have 13 months, because the moon tells you the day of the month by waxing and waning in a 28-day cycle. And it happens 13 times in the year. So our calendar is completely out of whack. And that's why we're so disoriented in this modern day and age. And that's why all these new scientific discoveries have never actually helped any of us in the slightest. Because it's all a bunch of BS.
Because it's them that are doing this fucking experiment. Because they need this for the globe to work. And this is why William Shatner and Neil deGrasse Tyson are going one day after the flat earthers are going. But for 20 years long, they couldn't fucking go by themselves and actually film the 24-hour sun because it wasn't there. They are experimenting right now on faking the 24-hour sun for future guests that are going to Union Glacier Camp. Thank you guys. I don't need the money at all, for real. Like, it's stupid. I don't care. I cannot even pull it out where I'm from, so I just give it to other people. Sorry, not trying to say nothing bad, but I don't need the money. So this right here is Union Glacier Camp. You are not allowed to step here, or here, or here, or here, or here, anywhere around here, anywhere around here. You are locked down into that area. Somebody's gonna tell me the name right now. Everybody knows this movie. It's Mad Max. There you go. You had that crazy king that hogged the water supply and that controlled all the slaves. But just having clean water. Right? I'm not gonna let these people get to the clean water, because if not, I lose control of everybody. Right? But if you were a king or a queen back then, and you wanted lands by yourself and with your friends that are the elitists, all you gotta do is this. Let's say you have a map. We cut out a circle out of this map. And you wrap it on a ball. You wrap it on a ball. And all you gotta tell them is keep this negligible area on the bottom side of this fake ball right here, and then hide the real truth by stretching the center. You can see it right in the screen right here. You can see there's a stretch right here. This is all stretched out. This whole area is stretched out. You can see that only at 630 miles up, it's depixelated already. And when I zoom in, you see that it's clearly depixelated. There you go. You see that? That's clearly depixelated. What are you talking about? We have f***ing satellites for 40 years, Max. How come we don't have pictures of these mountains down below the globe? Yeah, how come, bro? But right here, on the borderline where tourists are supposedly coming at Deception Island, if you don't believe that exists, here you go. Deception Island. Boom. Right there. I can zoom in here. I can zoom all the way in.
Hey, how's it going? Yaki Clone here. Hello, Flat Earthers, my new friends. I've come to talk about the end. We all once had a hard time seeing where all this conspiracy stuff was leading. But the flat earth awakening has made it all so clear why we're here to serve God, not science. They say the sun is far away, but we can see that's not the case. It all started when we realized they were only showing CGI. And the starlight is not trillions of miles away, like they say in the realm of science. But fools still say that it's a globe. They haven't seen what we've been shown. There wouldn't be any arguments if they just looked at the evidence and knew about Freemasons and the 33. They might see to stand with God, not science. And in the time that I've researched, no longer I see the ball earth. Thankfully the Lord has sent His Son to show us all which side to be on. What the Bible says is actually how it is, but it's opposites in the realm of science. Thank you.
It came in the mail and y'all are opening it with me. Ooh. Smell it. Woo! Here we go.
The Flat Earth map dates back over 1,000 years. This map is credited to being created by a Persian astronomer. His name was Al-Biruni and he lived between 973 AD to 1048 AD. It's the official map of the United Nations and also the United States Geological Survey. It used to be present in many places before the creation of NASA and the Antarctic Treaty in 1959. Here you see it with Admiral Byrd. This map has been restored by Dmitry from Russia with suggestions of mine, Elitist. Known by my YouTube channel Flat Earth Banjo, I asked Dmitry to include the Bermuda Triangle and Point Nemo, a place deep in the Pacific where NASA buries rockets. Then Robert Tozzi, a professional mapmaker, came along and enhanced the map even more. There are many people now selling this map online, but if you could order it from my online store, I would greatly appreciate it. Visit my online store now and order one of the items. I humbly thank you.